The bell above the diner door jingled with a tired clang, but no one looked up. Rain pelted the windows in silver streaks, and the wind howled through the small, forgotten town of Millbrook like a lonely ghost. Linda Harper, a woman in her early 50s with soft brown eyes and flour-dusted hands, was wiping down a table for the third time. Business had been slow. Too slow. The kind of slow that made her count the coffee filters and worry about next month's rent. Then, he walked in. Tall, thin, and soaking wet, the man looked like a ghost himself, cheeks sunken, eyes hollow, clothes clinging to his bones. His beard was overgrown, and he limped slightly as he shuffled toward a corner booth. He didn't ask for a menu. He didn't even meet her eyes. He just sat down, as if the seat might disappear if he waited too long. Linda paused, rag in hand, unsure whether to approach him or pretend she hadn't seen. The diner had its share of drifters, especially since the local mill shut down 2 years ago. Most folks moved away. Some stayed and struggled. And a few, like this man, seemed to appear from nowhere, dragged in by hunger and desperation. "Coffee?" she asked gently. He nodded once. Linda poured him a hot cup and set it down in front of him. He wrapped his hands around it like it was the first warmth he'd felt in weeks. Then, very quietly, he whispered, "Ma'am, I haven't eaten in 2 days. If I could just get something small, anything. I'll find a way to pay you back." Her heart broke right there. She nodded and disappeared into the kitchen. She didn't heat up leftovers. She didn't scrape together the cheapest thing she could find. Instead, she made him the same breakfast she'd make her late husband on cold mornings: fluffy eggs, buttery toast, crisp bacon, and a stack of pancakes that steamed in the air. When she brought the plate out, he looked at her with glassy eyes and whispered, "Thank you." Then he ate like someone who had known real hunger. Linda went back to her counter, trying to focus on her ledger, her unpaid bills, and the fear that she might have to close her doors soon. But her heart felt a little lighter, if only for that morning. When she returned to the table 15 minutes later, the man was gone. No goodbye. No name. But on the table, under the empty plate, was a folded napkin. Inside it, she found a note and a crisp $100 bill. The note read, "You fed me when I was at my lowest. I used to be someone. Then life fell apart, job, family, everything. I'm not there yet, but I will be again. When I am, I'll remember you. You gave more than food. You gave hope. J.D." She stood still for a long moment, napkin shaking in her hand. Over the next few weeks, something changed. A man came in asking to rent the empty shop next door. A young couple stopped by, saying they'd heard about the kind lady with the big heart and wanted to feature her diner on their local food blog. Her customer count began to rise. People came. His name was Jason Douglas. Once a successful restaurateur in Chicago, his life had spiraled after his wife died in a car crash. He lost everything. Hit rock bottom. But that morning in Linda's diner had sparked something in him. "I started over," he said. "Got help. Started a new business. And now, I want to help you." At first, she resisted. She wasn't a charity case. But Jason insisted, not with pity, but with gratitude. Together, they expanded the diner. He invested in new equipment, a fresh coat of paint, and even helped her launch a small program to feed the homeless once a week. They called it Second Chances. Linda never became rich. She never wanted to be. But her diner became the heart of Millbrook. A place where people gathered, shared stories, and felt safe. Years later, a plaque still hung above that corner booth. It read, "Kindness feeds the soul." In this seat, hope was served. Sometimes the smallest gestures changed the biggest lives. And sometimes, one hot meal on a rainy morning is all it takes to turn the tide.